Hey Temperions, welcome back to another video. The following video is it's not so much a guide, it's more of a letter to the developers. So, hi developers, I will be linking this to you guys and hoping that you'll see it and hoping that you'll act on it. But I know there's no promise, there's no guarantee, but I really wanted to have one rant, so to speak, about Itemall, what could be changed, what could be better, what could be removed, what could be optimized. All of my suggestions even could help make this game more money. With that said, I hope you enjoy, and yeah, I'll see you in the outro. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is just a few little optimizations. I'd like to see stuff like this 1 hour tool be removed because it's 1 hour tool for crap price. I don't think anybody would use it. I don't think anybody's using it. So, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of the 2-day version too. If you're not going to change the prices on these, it's a no-brainer to go for the 30-day tool. They're just redundant items. Do some optimization and get rid of them. And this guy has no head. So much action going on here, I love it. We're all in front of Papa Jimbo's stream at the moment. He's AFK. Alright, back to the show. Alright, so you got all these tools that are a pain in the ass. 2-day version of the same 30-day. Just get rid of the 2-day and keep that. I think Lance terrible. You could get rid of these or just update the prices. All the reinforcement stuff. Bank account expansion. I wish that was permanent. I don't think it's really worth it when it's temporary. Compounding 10%. Now, I don't know what they want to do when it comes to this, but some things you really can't maximize. With coupons, it could be an idea to have a 15% coupon or a 20% coupon, so we have that chance to have a 100% success rate, and rather than using protections, maybe use success rate. I don't mind the system the way it is. I mean, it's just a possibility. Could do that. Okay, random stat revamps. I'll show later an item which is the for different some things like Trinity weapons, you can't reroll with a random stat revamp. Nightmare accessories, you can't reroll with a random stat revamp. I can't remember what it was, but there's 2 items that do and used to be in the cash shop, and we'll see a video of that shortly. But it would be nice if you just tied all the random rolls to the random stat revamp. So we just had one item that would be optimized. That would be better. This reinforcement rate coupon is 10%. It's actually just, it's a joke. You can get that for free with just a couple of clicks at level 50 twice a day. So it shouldn't be an item mall. Get rid of it. While I'm talking about the last coupon that we see, it'd be nice to see the 10% enchant coupon back in item mall. It's not here. That would be helpful. Enchanting is really difficult. It might be worth 50 item mall just to get that extra success rate. It's not perfect. Again, you could add a 15 or a 20% coupon. That would be nice. Bring back the 10 packs for the summons. We really need that. It's really a pain in the ass to have to buy these and then, one at a time open them. If you could do that, that would be great. This guild summon, from what I understand, does not work. And even if it does work, only the guild master can use it. Can you make this item work on any guild member so they can summon their whole guild? Like, that would make it buyable for so many people. I would own them just as a regular in a lot of guilds. It would just be awesome if I saw a pop-up and it was like my Raz over there doing the dancing is summoning me to, all right, just see what's up, and we go there and then she's just like, kill this boss. I was like, sure, and 25 of us guildies are just there all of a sudden, and we're like, yeah, sure, let's kill the boss. Sure, it could be inconvenient. You don't have to click OK, but that would be fun. Make it work. Make a 10 pack and Make it usable by any guild member. That would be awesome. Please do that. Even a 10 pack of these NPC summons would be nice. Nothing really to say about pets. Pets are awesome, except can you make them sealed so we can trade them and be a little bit more safe? That's one of those items that's not sealed. Alright. Chance maker sealed. Alright, I've talked about this in my last video. The Greater Iox Enic box. Could we get a graph? Could we get some information on what it gives? And obviously, if it gives crap items, could we get a new take on it? I'll talk about it later in my video with another idea, but you know, it's a 100 item mole, but is it worth it? I don't think it is, but I don't think it's worth risking even finding out. So make that something special. Premium, I'll talk about that at the end of the video, the very end of the video, because I got ideas for that too. But I like the premium system, the way it works in the game. I like that you can save it, you can put it on a specific character that you can farm Atma, you can make it a very farm-orientated character. But a lot of people complain about the not having the old system, and it's pretty normal these days in games to have like a battle pass, some sort of subscription system to pay monthly. I mean, I think that could really boost the income of the game, but I'll come back to, maybe I should just say it now. Okay, forget it, I'll say it now. All right, my idea. Premium, you've got a 50% boost to battlefield points, but it's not very compatible with a limited set of time like 24 hours. So I'd make a battle pass, essentially, as a separate thing. I'd use the settings and I'd create a setting down here where it's like, it'll be grayed out, but if you've got the battle pass, you can on off it, and it'll give you a little tag next to your name or a symbol that says that you've got battle pass. Don't make it pay to win type of battle pass. Maybe have a monthly box that you get, similar to when we had the relaunch, and you could open that box and you got all this gear. So it's like, and it can drop into item mall in here, and you know, we can pop it whenever we want onto whatever character, and then we open it, and then we you know, it might be a bunch of POG boosters and some other things, just random stuff that you think, oh, I'll just put this in the box this month. That would be really cool. And you can make it worth our money by having a high value on the box versus the amount of money we pay for the subscription. But naturally, we don't know what we're going to get. And that would lure people in. I think you could get at least 10 to 50 players paying a monthly subscription to not want to miss out on that. So as an added benefit, they get the 50% boost to battlefield points because it's more suited, and I reckon you should put the forge bonus on the battle pass too, instead of the premium, rather than the forge bonus and the battlefield bonus being on the premium. Leave the XP on there, leave the item drop on there, leave the land drop on there, leave the additional bank slots on there. Whatever, maybe move them over. You guys could figure that out, whether you wanted to move it to the battle pass, but definitely the stuff that works better, because it sucks to, you know, pop premium just for 2% forge bonus, and then you're sitting there reinforcing for hours while your prem ticks away, where you could be using it for farming. It feels like punishment. So put it into like a subscription model, call it something else like battle pass, or give it some cool name that sounds like a Requiem thing. And yeah, moving on. I think that please do that. These keys are useless. Nobody really uses them. You know, you're better off probably just buying premium. You're far better off buying premium. 30-day mounts. Can we please have all the mounts available? Again, that would be nice. You can make the flying mount 30 days, like 300 item all because they're flying. And just all the mounts, there's tons of them. I'll show that later in the video. Costumes, I think I said this in the last video, but 150 based on the current situation of costumes is kind of too expensive. It's useful for a brand new player, but even at that price, maybe make it like 50 or 75 item wall or something, because it's more just pure cosmetic. Cheaper would be better, be spammed a bit more. I think you'd get more money off of cheaper costumes, or just put them on sale. That's one of my big gripes with the item wall, is we don't get sales ever. So there's the last premium. It'd be nice to see it say 1 on it rather than a 3. Could be done. Bag expansion, just get rid of the 8 slots. It's kind of, we know it's bugged if you've already got 5 bags. It doesn't quite work. You can save item mole if you get the 3 slot one and you've got the 5 bags. You can have 5 bags by level 13, which is really easy to achieve. Let's stop scamming people with the 8 bag and just remove it from item mole for now. And magic sticks, they're fine the way they are, but could you just make them sealed? I've got a picture of a sealed one, so I can prove that point later. So that's us looking at item mole from here. Right. This is an old video. It's Requiem, Rise of the Reaver. Can they make pets and mounts permanent? They can. And there's just a bunch of stuff in here that I'm going to point out and talk about that used to be there and could be here again. First of all, you've got item drop 100%, 4 hours. We can get that for free during some events, but it would be nice to have it in here as a convenience item. Add that back. Lyle is pay to win. He's a better pet than Juliana and Brianna. I would say he's about 25% stronger. That doesn't make him worth it, as like that's not really the pay to win element. He does, however, have a like face smack silence skill that he uses occasionally. That is what makes him pay to win, that he can silence mages. It's something I wish was in the game. I loved having my Lyle back in the day, but some people might complain that it's too pay to win. Maybe bring Lyle back. I would like that, but you know, we'll see what other people think. You know, comment if you miss Lyle or if you hate Lyle. All right, here's a modified Swift Rex. That's a 75% movement speed Rex. It's permanent, hence the high cost. We used to have these in Itemall. That's it looks like a normal Rex. It's just very fast when with that tag. Just gonna use the arrow key. And we used to have heaps of them. There was a free way to get them, so it never really made sense that they had them in Itemall for such an expense. And there was a permanent flying mount in Itemall, the big black rocket as well. Those crescent packages, I'm not advocating for permanent mounts. I actually would prefer you stuck to a time-based model so you can get recurring money from people. And occasionally a permanent mount should be part of an event. It should be something difficult to get, perhaps a 1% drop from a box, so we have to get magic sticks. The way Halloween works is kind of great. I really enjoy the demand, the need, the I want this so I have to go farm it kind of thing. I have to put in the work. So I'd stick to not having permanent mounts in Itemall myself, but you could definitely make money doing it. And I got an idea in my transmog video where it'd be nice to, rather than having a swap per se, it would be nice if you could just like transmog your permanent mount or have a swap item for your permanent mount, so you can just like pay like 200 item mole to take your permanent mount and be like, I want the, I don't know the names of anything, but I want the spectral main Rex. No, now I want the ghost main Rex. Nah, now I want something else. But that's for a later video. Those packages have transport control equipment and premium vital waters in it. We don't have those anymore, and that would be nice to see again. There's the 10-pack summons we used to have. Can we please have them back? See? Discounts. Can we have discounts like this from time to time? Okay. Possession Beast Hardcore Accelerator. Don't bring it back. Never bring it back. That's one of those definitely too OP items. It takes 5 minutes, I think, to get from no PB to having your PB charged up, and 5 minutes is a long enough time that it can be difficult in Battlefield to not die for 5 minutes. So once somebody uses PB, which is kind of like a trump card, there's a tactic to using PB in Battlefield, and 5 minutes is enough time that it's punishing if you lose your PB, if you use it incorrectly, if you don't maximize its potential. It can mean the difference between winning and losing. That's a 200% increase to how fast it regenerates, which brings it from 5 minutes down to like a minute 15 or a minute 20. I think that's in my notes, but it doesn't matter. That's a really short period of time. Don't bring it back. Tamed Bien Draco. That is a 30-day flying mount that's fast instead of the slow permanent one that we get. Please bring it back. It'd be nice to be able to have some choices. AED, I think that's a 10-pack. I can't show you. You'd have to click on the obtain. But it would be nice to have that in the item all as well as a convenience item. Even 90-day tools would be nice at a discount, as you can see. You could pay 600 for 3 reduction tools, or you could pay 100 item or less for a 90-day reduction tool. So, you know, that's kind of cute. That would be nice to have. You know, different mounts, some variety. Hover bikes, 30 days. That would be good. There they are. There's the revamp stuff for some items in the game that can't be re-rolled with a random stat re-roll item. You could put them back in item mall for us. That's one option, or perhaps you could just tag the, as I said before, the random stat revamp to all these items. Oh, it wouldn't be too bad, but it looks like this in item mall as it is. It would be nice if they lined up, like all the pets were together, all the mounts were together, and you know, I think most of us use the all tab. And I think that's it for this video. That's all we capture. But as you can see, that's what it was like. That's what it was like. And that was 4 years ago, so that wasn't that long ago. I'm going to start with the images because that's going to be easy to explain. This is going to be a little bit here, there, and everywhere. This is mostly for my viewers than it is for the developers, so you guys can just see it. Alright. So I've used some magic to create visuals so you can see these items. We could have sealed magic sticks because there's a sealed magic stick. The code must already be there. We just need it to be put into item mall. Here is a costume swap. We used to have permanent costumes for all the costumes. It was expensive, but you could pay like 200 item mall to swap your permanent costume, and you'd keep your enchants that was on your permanent costume. It was great for those endgame players who had a permanent costume, who are just getting sick of looking at whatever costume they have, and they just want to swap every now and then. It would be great for events. I might be like, oh, there's an event on, I want a Halloween costume because it's Halloween. Oh, there's this event on, I want to put that on because of whatever. There's your sealed enchanting 10% that I mentioned before. Again, I could have put in the effort and done this picture differently, but I didn't want to spend too much time on it. Again, I was performing some voodoo on the game. There was a 100% XP. You could have a 100% XP, 1 hour, 1 day, 30-day item. It would kick ass over the 30% one. Maybe bring the cost of the 30% one down, and then put this one in item mall and put that one up. And people would definitely buy it as an option. Bank account expansion, 1 year. 500 item mall. Take my money. Or make it permanent. Do it. That would be nice. Thank you. Okay, so this was one of my own ideas. I wasn't expecting to find it in the game already existing. But there is a 30-day pay. Maybe not sealed, but you can make it sealed for us. These are the TD buffs, but they're convenient. Alright, so I would buy them on my PvP characters, and I'd buy probably all of them. It's a pain in the ass to go into TD. You might not get the top roll stat. You might get an 18% HP or a 16% HP, and end up settling for that. But it would be really nice as a paying player, especially if we were in a high point in the game and there was lots of Battlefield going on or PK, to just buy it. I think stats, I think the best pricing would be stats 100 mil, 30 days, HP 75, MP and MP regen, MP in both regions could be 50, something like that. You guys could play with the pricing, but you know, I'd be willing to pay for that, and a lot of people would. I think stats is the main one that's the most popular because it means more damage as well as everything else under the sun. HP comes after that for survivability. Some people appreciate regen, like myself. Like HP regen's like my favorite thing, even though it's not the most important. And a radiant, a really OP radiant would be buying everything, especially the mana for their mana shield. But most of us don't need mana regen or mana, not after a while. So I found him. Level jump. Okay, Papa Jimbo agreed with me today. He's like, oh, I would love a level jump, you know, because I'm so behind and I want to take my money, you know, stuff all these levels. At least, like, hear me out, because some people are going to be like, nah, don't want that, don't want it, because too pay to win. But this is a big game and it can take 12 months. 12 months, it could take longer if you don't have a lot of time to level up to end game. Okay, so level 90 isn't end game, it's getting there. It's a huge jump. Getting from 90 to 97 would still require a month or two of grinding and doing your daily quests. So depending, I think you could charge quite a bit. You could charge maybe 5,000 item mole, but occasionally when you feel like the numbers are down in the game, you could put a sale on it, drop it by 1,000 item mole, drop it by 2,000 item mole. It's all about cost evenness between buying premium, buying XP, buying a pet, etc., and then putting in the effort versus buying a level jump. So I think 5,000 would be a good price, because I reckon you really could, for less than 5,000 item mole, maybe for 2,000 or 3,000 item mole, get from level 1 to 90 by putting in the effort and playing the game and being smart, and you could save money doing that. For someone like me, 50 USD, 5,000 item mole, something like that, you know, maybe for my birthday, I just want I just want to jump straight into a new character. I want a commander, I want a dominator, whatever. Let's have level jump 90 in item mole. I want one. I know a lot of other people do. Once you've made a main character or two, it's such a pain to be like, I want to play Avenger endgame, but then be like, I need to put in 3 months of constant grinding and dailies and crap. This game is like League of Legends in FOC, in Battlefield, but you can't just play it whenever you want. You can't just change character whenever you want. We need some convenience items for people who have the money and will pay. Please? If a rich person was like, I want one of every character, and you had a level jump item and it was 5,000, it was 50. 16 characters. There are 16 upper class jobs. Is that right? For a 16. Alright. 16 times 50? Like, huh? That's a lot. There's a lot of money from just one player. Just boom. It could be sudden, or it could be every couple months they buy a character until it's been a few years and they've got every character due to level jumps. Now, Papa said he'd like a level 69 level jump, and you could charge maybe 2k item more for that. Now, I think to just level it yourself, like really, like there are other ways. But for 2,000 item more, well, if you stack a 600 item more pet, maybe a pet extension, so you've got 2 months, and you know, expanded bags and blah blah blah, you could easily within a month get to level 69. So you could spend your money more wisely, or you might be like Papa Jimbo and just want to jump to 69 and then start spending your money. I think because there are a lot of level jumps in the database, level 90 would be good, would be insane. That's the big money maker. That's the big, I'm bored, I just want to play a new character sooner rather than later. It's not too pay to win, because you still have to put in a month maybe of work to level up and to gear up and stuff like that. And put in the level 69 jump for a lot less, like 2,000 item or something that people can actually measure the cost effectiveness of. So more of the stats. And the transport control equipment. Now there are quests in the game, particularly in Parnas, where you can get the Parnas control equipment. So some of us will know what that looks like. It would be nice to have as an option. It's not. There are other teleport options in this game, but it'd be nice to have as an option transport control equipment back in item mall as well for getting around, and possibly just drop it in some events or in some battle pass boxes or something like that. Premier Vital Waters. Now, I get it, nobody's probably uses them. This isn't the HP one. This is what it looks like. When you pot, there are 3 timers, not including like beautiful Nightmare Waters, which just doesn't have a timer and it's infinite. It's unfair. This can be used in duels, in PK, in guild, in FOC. Yes, it's a pay option, but maybe we can have some events where we can get some for free. The 3 timers are premium water, normal water, like what you get from NPCs and from monsters, and a monster drop, like urban meat or something like that. There's a variety of in the game. And when you stack them all together, it's like 4,000 HP, maybe a little bit less. And I don't know about other players, but when I'm playing Battlefield, I actually wouldn't mind having like a few emergency buttons. 4,000 HP could mean the difference between getting away and not dying, and living to fight later, and then dying. And it's not a lot of HP. Like 1,450 is not a lot, but it could literally mean one fireball, or a little bit of extra damage, or get me over like poison damage, so I'd love to have these in item mall. Bring them back, please. More transport control equipment. If I flicked through too fast, you might want to just go back and pause. Stats. Transmogrify. I'm going to make a whole video on transmogrify, so we're not going to talk about this much. But there was this in the database. It's a 50% success rate Xeon. I think you could have, because Forge doesn't work on transmogrify, so it's always a 50-50 coin flip. Once transmogrify is fixed, you could sell coins, and then you could sell this, and this could be an option, so you have 100% success rate. So when you coin flip, you just don't have to, so you could pay extra for the guarantee, or you can do a coin flip, and maybe you'll lose more than you'll win. Maybe you'll win more than you lose. Like I don't mind the gambling when it's like I can clearly see what the gambling means, and I'm just a coin flip game, and it will hurt when I lose 3 times, but I'll feel good when I win 3 times without buying these. But you could put these in there for people who don't like that feeling. Okay, so, and transmogrify coins, that's the sealed, that's the amount you need for 1 transmogrify item. So that's all there. Parnas, done that, that's it. Alright, so it'd be nice to have these. You could even give new players some turbo control equipment, that used to be a thing, I think, at one point, where you'd start a character and you'd have some turbo transport equipment to help you get around. Just super useful. Return them to the game. Thank you. Right. It was my wife's idea. I asked her, what would you do? And she was like, I wish there was an item I could buy for convenience in the game that would just, especially when there isn't a Forge event on, that makes my life a lot easier. And I thought, my first reaction was I don't like the idea. My second reaction was I think I've seen that in the database somewhere before. Shout out to anybody who knows what this item is and can tell me a story about its history and its existence, because I don't know. I'd say it was a season 1 item in item mall at one point. Now, personally, so this is in the database. It is sealed. It is pay. The idea is item mall, and the idea is a convenience factor. My third and final thought for this idea is I wouldn't want the item to compete with actual items that, are, required for twinking around that level area. You wouldn't want that. So I thought maybe level 10, level 30, because anything in the level 49 range could be better than those ranges. So like a Biscuit, Primordial Biscuit is a level 1, anybody can use it kind of weapon. So, and that can be better than this. But if it's pretty rare that we see Primordial weapons, this could be really good for a new player, and then there's no Forge on for a few weeks, and they're getting sick of it. So they're like, oh, well, there's 100 item more for this level 10 weapon, and then 150 for the level 31, and then a level 51 for 200, you know? And it's just a convenience weapon, something that'll give you some survivability, something that'll make you just crit more often, you know, give it 5% crit to all, something that'll make you feel like you can 3-hit something instead of 8-hit something without all the other benefits like accessories and Forge. So especially if you're going to continue this model of not running Forge too often. So I've done this so people can see them. They're really cool looking weapons. So I'm going to play the video so you can see them. Now, the plus 30 is a visual bug. They're not plus 30. They don't need to be plussed up. They don't get plussed up. But you can see it gives you some stats, some HP. I think you could change these stats. The damage is excellent, but don't have it compete with level 49. That's why I would say a level 50 next, because that bypasses 49, can't use it for 49, so it won't help a twink. And then level 70 would be my next mark. And you could stick to it just being Knuckles, because everybody can use Knuckles. A launcher, because what if I'm a hunter and I want to use a launcher? Maybe a crossbow, if you could make a fantastic crossbow. I know that's not in the database. This is just me showing off what's in the database. A crossbow. And that's pretty well it. Just you know, that's all you need. Don't need to do a lot. This is just bam, there you go. Now you hit things and you throw fireballs and they hit hard. Like, maybe change the stats up a bit. Make it so everybody has an option. It's a really pretty launcher. I haven't seen anywhere ever. It's very, very shiny. Very pretty effects on it. Sorry about my camera control. I know it's not perfect. So I talked about stats, talked about permanent costumes and swaps. I didn't talk about the Christmas costume, but we did have a permanent costume. It's awesome in Item Mall for Christmas. It was all the Christmas costumes were available. No, it was not sealed, so that was awkward. So if it was sealed, that would be better. You took it away from us, so now it's very pay to win, and sorry, you missed out. If you want one today, you can't have it. That's not fair, because you can't actually trade sealed pay items that aren't sealed. You can't trade them with a bind, so that's a bummer. DNA, alright. I think you should bring back a little bit of pay to win in the DNA, but you can have some events where you can pick up some cash DNA. I think I like your system with the quests, 25 base DNA, and it would be nice to see us get to 45 off of the quests, which is where the cap is at the moment. And then the last 10 DNA points, you could just have it be, you know, 100 item more per DNA point, and then just one DNA item. One DNA item in the item mall. It's $1 kind of thing, $10, you get all your DNA points. And again, yes, people can play an event and get some extra DNA. Maybe get it in the battle pass occasionally, couple slots of DNA, and have it cap out at 55. Not completely pay to win, a little bit pay to win. I'd like to see that. It'd be really nice to just have a final form of DNA, because we want our DNA. we want our DNA. I want to have a long range fear again on my warlord, please. Yeah, just that one thing. That's all it is. It's not that pay to win. 10 DNA points and I get a 130 meter fear rather than a 10 meter fear. Come on. So that's a decent idea, is put some DNA back in item mall. We covered revamps, AEDs. You saw it in the video. I think you could have some cheap, simple AEDs for a low price, just for convenience, like 50 item all for 10 of them, but you could have 150 item all for the Chorus one kind of thing for, you know, people. It's again convenient, but it's also, you know, more value, more price. That'd be good. Teleporters, yep. Item drop, covered that. Lyle, we talked about that. Don't bring back the hardcore accelerators. Level jumps. Level jumps. Pay gear. I thought that was a brilliant idea. So thank my wife for that, if you think it's a good idea too. Transformation items. Okay, I didn't talk about that. That sucks. Alright. Oh, I don't have any. Right, we'll go to AH and hopefully find something. It'll be a bit of a walk, but I'll talk about it on the way there. We used to have transformation items. They are one of my favorite items, favorite features of the game. You could transform into a rock. You could transform into that Xeon Knight over there, or this Sheila, you know, walking towards me. And you couldn't use your skills, so it wasn't really powerful, but it gave you a reason to want to build an AA set on a character, so you could wail away on people and actually like beat them potentially with AA because you hit hard. It would be nice to have that back. It really would. I get why you, what's the word? You turned it off. Like, we still have the items, but we can't use them anymore. There was a crash exploit. You can spam those transformations. Could you bring them back and just put a cooldown on the item skill? I know you can do that. It's really no different to me using an AED. I use an AED, then it has a 60-second cooldown on it. Can't use it again. Let's see if we can find... Let's see if we can find a ornament. Like Scad Ball, you can turn into a Scad Ball. So see, all of these that you get, you can farm in game, are transformation items. You've still got the description that it can transform. So it's, but you can't. And you transform into the nightmare monsters, which is really cool. You do little things like you could sit and hide under the ground if that's where the monster would normally be, like with the Corporinoi, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Let's just say it's awesome. Yes, there should be some free-to-play transformation options, but you could transform into heaps of things. Don't bring it back entirely as a free option. Bring it back in item mall. Make a box, or better yet, let's find that greater ioxenic box. Put all of them in this box. All of them. And then random. You get a random one for 100 item all. That's fine. Put them all in that box. Make it random. There's like 50 transformation items. Maybe there's more. Maybe there's 80. And make it collectible. Make it a gotta catch them all kind of, you know, thing. And make them all tradable, obviously, so people can buy, swap, and trade. That would be an awesome way to update the greater ioxenic box. And people would want that. I would want that. I would spend $10 on transformation items, possibly more. It might be my birthday, and I'm like, oh, I really want to get Wary Newman. I really want to get Ruinhorn. I really want to get this and that. It would spice things up so much. Put a 5-second cooldown on the item. At least a 3-second cooldown on the item, and it won't be spammable anymore. You won't be able to crash people anymore without using actual hacks to like hack the cooldowns or something like that. So do that, please. Bring them back and make some money off of it too. Like, that would be awesome. Non-sealed items, we should talk about Prem. Alright, and we talked about all that. I think that's it. Alright, cool. Awesome. I haven't talked about Transmogrify. I've got to make a whole video on Transmogrify and what could be done about that, because I've got like several ideas. And Lucky Box. Lucky Box has issues too, and I'd like to see Lucky Box be turned into something worthwhile again. So that's it, guys. I'm hoping this somehow reaches the developers. I'm hoping we get a change in the near future. There's so many changes that would be loved by the community, would be loved by the people who play this game, including myself. There's more ideas in the back of my head that's just coming up now. So I might have to redo this video one day, especially if we don't see a change for 12 months, you know, and it's just the same old game in 12 months. Hopefully I might be able to improve on my style and hopefully reach them with the same crap with a few extra crap. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and comment your ideas and your opinions on Item Mall from Requiem into the comment section here on YouTube. Give me some ideas for future videos, and who knows, maybe the developers will actually read your comments. Thanks for watching.